Hello, Tony here. I thought I would take this opportunity to offer you what I hope will be some words of encouragement and comfort as together we go through this awful crisis. I was thinking of you all this morning when I was reading through John's Gospel and reflecting on the words that Jesus said to his disciples shortly before they would be swept up in their own crisis, the crisis that would follow his arrest and crucifixion. Shortly before that happened, he said this to them: "A new commandment I give you: love one another. Love one another as I have loved you." And in this way, all people will know that you are my disciples, because they will see the love that you have for one another. Did you know that Amazon are reporting on a huge spike in the demand for books about how to manage fear and anxiety? And of course, we'll know from our newsreels that chemists and doctors are reporting on a huge demand for antidepressants. It would seem that the anxiety industry, at least, is one of the few industries that's enjoying a boom time during this crisis. But the whole crisis has, in some ways, reminded me of something I read not too long ago about something that happened in Tanzania in 1962. It was actually called the Tanganyika laughter epidemic. And apparently, this epidemic happened with one young schoolgirl at a boarding school who started laughing uncontrollably. And very quickly, this spread to her classmates until well over 100 children, school children, were swept up in this epidemic of laughter. They literally could not stop laughing. And in some cases, the condition lasted for a few hours, but in other occasions, it went on for 16 days. Eventually, they had to shut down the school because the epidemic moved to other villages. In fact, it moved into 14 different schools and affected well over 1,000 children. And it lasted for 18 months. 18 months. You know, viruses are not the only thing that can spread through human communities. So too can attitudes and behaviors. Attitudes like kindness or cruelty, and behaviors like generosity or greed. They can also spread through communities just as quickly as any disease. Because, you know, social networks will magnify whatever they are seeded with. They will magnify viruses like COVID-19. And if they are seeded with it, they will also magnify attitudes and behaviors like fear and violence, or alternatively, fraternity and generosity. And this is why I think at this time, and particularly on this Maundy, Thursday, that we remember the command that Jesus gave to his disciples: "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another as I have loved you." Friends, our communities will give birth to whatever they are seeded with. So let us, at this time particularly, strive and endeavor to seed our communities with love for one another. And remember, Christian love is always a verb. And as a verb, you will remember from primary school, is always an action word. I wonder, would you join with me in a word of prayer now? Father, at this time, please help us not to be so overcome with the fear of what ifs and the anxiety of what might be, that we lose sight of the needs of others. Help us to share and to care for those in need, whatever those needs be. And thank you for the inspiring examples that we see in our caregivers and our health workers. God, help us to emulate them and to value and to support them and the sacrifices that they and their families are making at this time. This we ask you in Jesus' name. Amen. God be with you all.